Prisoner tried to murder his cellmate because he was keeping him awake at night, and he has just been sentenced. Now, I did report on this quite a while back when it did happen, but as usual, I always keep you up to date and let you know exactly what happens with the sentences. But these are not two ordinary prisoners. This is bacon on bacon, and we all know what that is. So in this situation, as I've said previously, two wrongs do make a right, because one wrong'un has been sentenced to a considerable amount of time inside of prison, so no more youngsters will be at risk whilst this predator is off the streets. Now, I've read a few different articles just to get the true facts, because a lot of them do sometimes add bits on, and then you know exactly what is the truth. But one of them I did get off the Nottinghamshire, the Nottinghamshire Police website. But I'll just read out the title on this one. So, prisoner tried to kill cellmate with pillow because his flatulence was keeping him awake. There is a bit of humour in this as well. Obviously, if it was two innocent people, or one innocent person, and the other person was trying to take his life, then it would be a bit concerning. But because of the prisoners who are involved, which are, as we all know, these type of prisoners are not worth any dignity or humanity. So, Derby man Christopher Sweeney told officers he intended to kill Horban Martin Whittle at Nottingham prison. A child rapist, obviously we have to say different terms because it will flag up. And sometimes when I say a child, I might refer to as kid, because if I keep saying it as I say, we all know of previous videos when I speak the truth the way I used to, and see exactly what I thought, the videos get flagged. So, I've got to be a bit more respectful. So, a child rapist tried to kill his cellmate with a pillow because he was sick of his farting, coughing, and snoring. Christopher Sweeney jumped off his top bunk in anger because the 72-year-old victim was keeping him awake in the prison cell they shared at HMP, Nottingham. The 45-year-old forcefully held the pillow over Martin Whittle's face for a minute before he was fought off. Now, he's lucky, because them prison mattresses and prison pillows are like hard plastic. So keeping your face, or keeping someone's face pressed into that for a minute, he was actually lucky that he didn't either pass out or lose his life. Luckily for him, but not for the victims and the people who don't like bacons. When it was reported to prison staff and the allegation was put to him, the father of 5 said, yeah, it's all true, and that he intended to kill him. He also admitted to police a number of offences he'd never been prosecuted for from 2016. So maybe in this case, this wrong'un knows he's a wrong'un and knows he's a danger, and maybe he doesn't want to get back out and harm any more little ones or innocent members of the public. So he's come up, put his hands up, so he can spend the rest of his life in prison, or a considerable amount, because he's 45, I think it said there, and he's now got to serve a considerable amount of time more inside of prison, which I will get to in a minute. So the offences that he admitted to that he'd never been prosecuted for before, including an attempted knife-point robbery at Burton Road convenience store in Derby, and another attempted robbery with a hammer concealed in a bag, which he told the victim was an imitation firearm, at another shop in the Cavendish area of the same city. Handing him a 18-year sentence, Judge Nirmal Chand KC said, you were unrepentant and told people you wanted him dead. At least he was honest. You said he was farting, snoring, and coughing and a horrible man. You were completely candid. Oh, I was going to say completely right. And frank with the police, and in the course of the inquiries you disclosed other offences which otherwise might not have been detected. Katrina Wilson, prosecuting, said the attempted murder took place in the cell Sweeney and Mr. Whittle had shared for just 8 days. She said at around 2:30 am the victim was unable to sleep, and the defendant from the top bunk said to him, "If you wake me up again, you will be sorry." Now, when I'm reading these out, I can't help but thinking that I'm going to get round to what Whittle, the one who was attempted to be murdered, I'm going to get round to his offences. But I wonder, when these type of prisoners are being attacked inside a prison, they actually think about what their poor little defenceless victims thought when they were attacking them. I wonder if it goes through the mind. Probably have no remorse, them type of predators. But I wonder if he was thinking about that youngster that he was doing horrible things to when these are happening to him. A bit of karma, which happens to everybody. Everybody gets the fucking karma in one way or another. The prosecutor said Mr. Whittle was frightened, trying not to make any noise, but he was sleeping on a noisy mattress. At around 7 am, the defendant jumped down from the top bunk, spun around and placed his pillow over Mr. Whittle's face. He held it there forcefully for around a minute, and after a struggle, Mr. Whittle was able to push him away. The defendant sat down and asked if he could go on his vape, saying, "I guess you were going to tell the officers," to which Mr. Whittle replied, "You'll have to wait and see." Well, I'm surprised. If he's already attempted to do that, then he's sitting down having a conversation with him. And then Mr. Bacon Whittle says, "You'll have to wait and see." That, to me, if you've just tried to take someone's life and you're in that cell, then that person says, "You'll have to wait and see." Surely, you would have thought, if he's already attempted to do it, with an antagonising remark by saying, "You'll have to wait and see," taking control of the situation, you would have thought that the other Bacon would have thought, right, I'm now going to end you, because either way, I'm getting a considerable amount of time more inside of prison. So Miss Wilson said the victim reported the matter and Sweeney admitted, "It's all true, I wanted to kill him because of his farting, coughing and snoring." She said that during questioning about that offence, the defendant admitted the 2016 robbery and attempted robbery offences in Derby, as well as a 2024 burglary at the Bunk Bar in the Derby city centre. Sweeney, formerly of Burton Road and now of HMP Nottingham, pleaded guilty to attempted murder, attempted robbery, possession of a knife, possession of an imitation firearm with an intent to cause fear of violence, and burglary. He has 37 previous court appearances for 71 offences, including wounding, arson, robbery and burglary. This is the most severe and despicable and horrid crime that he's convicted of. In 2003, he was jailed for raping a boy under the age of 16 and has at least 16 convictions for breaching the terms of being on the S offender register, and has spent the majority of the past 23 years living behind bars. So 16 convictions for breaching the terms of an S offender register. It seems as though he's a prolific S offender himself. Steve Cobley mitigating said, sometimes it is counterintuitive when dealing with a case so serious to say very much. The offences were admitted to prison staff, and without him admitting the 2016 offences, it is unlikely the police would have detected them, and they may have offered the victim some finality. It is tragic that prison life is preferable to him rather than the alternative of homelessness and substance abuse. So how is that tragic? That prison life is preferable to homelessness and substance abuse. When obviously if he's homeless and he's taking substances, he's a danger. Obviously he's going to prefer the fucking general public prefer for him to be in prison so he's no longer a danger on the streets. So that 18-year sentence compromises 13 years in jail and a 5-year extended license for dangerousness. So that dangerous, horrible child rapist is off the streets until he's nearly 60-year-old. Hopefully he does a few more beatings whilst inside, then he'll never get released and he will never be a danger again. So, Martin Whittle, the one who was attempted to be murdered, I'm going to go on to talk about him. So, the title of one of the things I've researched of 2004 said, man jailed for S offence committed in the 1980s. So, this is one of those cases where he must have thought, yes, I'm getting away with it. Although it caught up with him, the karma caught up with him in prison as well. So he's had two sets of karma. His victim coming forward, him getting prison, then getting a taste of prison justice. So a man from Huddersfield has been jailed for an appalling S offence against a kid committed in the 1980s. Martin Whittle, 72, of Lucy Lane, was found guilty of the indecent assault of a kid under the age of 14 following a 4-day trial at Leeds Crown Court. He was sentenced to 4.5 years in prison and placed on the S offender register indefinitely. Now, for me, a 4.5 year sentence, they're probably saying, or probably give him it because it was that long ago, it was in the 80s. But it doesn't matter if it was committed fucking in the 80s, the 90s, the noughties, or now. 4.5 years for doing that to somebody under the age of 14 is absolutely fucking outrageous. I'm glad he's had a bit of prison justice because a 4.5 year sentence, he would have been out after 2 years, is absolutely fucking... I'll say no more. You know exactly what I mean and what I feel. So Detective Constable Yvonne Breer of West Yorkshire Police praised the victims for their bravery in coming forward, which meant Will had been made to answer for what he'd done. The karma caught up with him. Whittle has committed a truly appalling offence and we welcome the custodial sentence imposed on him. Although I bet you were dying to say you wished it was longer. I hope the sentencing can give the victims some closure and the case demonstrates to other victims of that type of crime that it is never too late to contact us if you have been a victim to such abuse, which there will be fucking hundreds of thousands. So again, like I say on this channel, I'm all about not just telling about these type of crimes and these predators getting their prison justice. I'm all about the victims of this type of offence because I've met a lot of victims like this, of these type of offences, and a lot have been in touch with us and it messes them up for the rest of their lives. So a lot of people who are actually victims of this type of crime watch my channel for this. I'm inundated with messages, inboxes, emails telling me exactly. Sometimes people pour their heart out to tell us what's actually happened to them and saying, could you please maybe do a story on it, not say what I've told you in the message. A lot of it is confidential, but they've said, can you go and have a look at this article and tell them about this predator inside a prison. Now, a lot of them, obviously, I'm inundated a lot. I can't do each and every one of them, but it doesn't go unnoticed, and I do reply to these people who do inbox and message. So I am a campaigner for these type of victims of that type of offence. So if you are a victim of that type of offence, and it has been a long time ago, pluck up the bravery to come forward and speak about it. But what I will say as well, one person did give me a lot of information on what had happened to them and said, can you please come on and tell me story? The first thing I said was, has the individual been to court and been charged? And they said, no, I've never went and told the coppers about what had happened or anything like that. So I said, I can't come on and do your story if the fucking individual hasn't been to court and been charged with it, because as you might well imagine, the person that's telling us the story it might not be the full truth of the story. There's nothing to back it up. I'm not saying that certain individual was lying, but I can't come on and do a story if they haven't been to court and charged and convicted and sentenced. But I hope you are still enjoying this content, people. There is plenty more to come, and as you can see, I am looking fresh and back to my normal self. Not 100%, but I'm getting there. On my other channel, Ricky Colleen Vlogs, where I'm documenting my road to recovery. If you do want to go and take a look at it, I'll leave the link in the description, people. So if you do want to watch it, go have a look. I'm going to be uploading more videos on there, but there's loads more videos coming on here soon. So stay tuned, people. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe. Take care, but most importantly, stay safe.